2019's here. Wow, how hard did aging hit you, huh? So I'm actually up here for another Mezco date. I saw Glass. That's right, it was shattering. I'm kidding. Glass, for those who aren't familiar with, is a little cute little trilogy that's pretty flippin' awesome. Where there are some people who are fragile, and then there are some people who are just simply unbreakable. You know, like that person on the block who you can't stand. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm just saying, like, either way you look at it, you either know someone who's really fragile or you know someone who doesn't break very easily. I would be the person who's not fragile. I tend to get like very angry to the point, and that's my superpower. But anyway, so I do want to talk about the film without spoilers. First off, because when they started the preset filming, they were like, okay, the studios has requested that, you know, there are no spoilers, that kind of thing. So there are no spoilers in this film, but just for the record, I felt like when they said in the theater, they all looked at me. Like, I was just like, we know you big mouth bitten apple. And I'm like, what? Who? Me? Oh, that chick behind me. You talking about her, right? So let's get started with what I liked about the film. So the first thing that I can definitely say about the film is the movie stands on its own. So for me, that's kind of cool that you can do that, because when you watch, I remember seeing Unbreakable when it first came out, and then there's Split, and now there's Glass. So the beauty of it is that the movie stands on its own. So even if you didn't know anything about the other film, maybe you're a millennial and you're like, what the heck is this about? You can actually watch it and enjoy the film because you're watching it from beginning to end, and it feels complete. It doesn't feel like, oh no, where's this coming from? Is that a reference or something? It wasn't too confusing, which I did appreciate it for a film, because even when you watch Unbreakable, what can be said, which at least how I feel about each film, is that they stand by themselves. You can watch each individual one and be like, that was interesting. So that was one thing that I did really appreciate about the film a lot, the fact that it stood on its own. Now the next aspect of what it is that I'd say is a good thing about oh my god, I'm so terrible. Ralph?
Real comic feel to it. Okay,
so there we go. I'm so terrible. Yeah, you guys are turning now, just my whole thing just got blown up in my face. Everyone's like, is this what happens during your shows? Yeah. So this film is not for someone who's like, Marvel, DC, It's not fantasized. What I like about it is it's real superhuman beings on how it would be done realistically. It's not that they're, you know, indestructible. Maybe some of them are unbreakable, but that does not mean they cannot be harmed. You know, everything has a weakness, and that's the part that I kind of like about this this style of film, and the way how they're portraying, especially in this last one, that heroes or gods can be walking amongst us. So I think that if you're expecting, like, you know, I don't know, I'm Batman, you know, or then it's, you know, Mr. You know, Harley Quinn. She's like, hi, Mr. J. If you're expecting that, if you're expecting Thor to do something really cool and just like, oh, you know, if you're expecting that, you're not getting that. What you're getting is a film that sits there and kind of moves you along the way and making it as realistic as possible. In a sense of explaining. I'm trying to be careful about this, because I don't want M. Night Shyamalan going, this chick saw it early and she done messed up everything, and then I'll never get booked for a gig. So what I can say is, this is hard to word. Darn you, did you guys really look at me about the spoilers? I'm sorry, I just get excited when I see a film. I love art.
In all fairness, you don't want to spoil the fact that it's one of the M. Night Shyamalan's little...
There's a twist at the end that I think is pretty flippin' awesome. But I ain't gonna talk about that. No spoilers. But it does have a realistic feel to how people would feel about gods or superheroes living amongst us. You know, but not to the extent the way how the X-Men portray it, like, kill the mutants, no! It's not that extreme, but it does have a realistic approach to it, to how people would feel about, you know, superhumans living amongst them. And think about it. Think about every like Facebook video, YouTube video that you ever come across. Like this girl, you know, dodges lightning, or the girl who glitches through the system like she's Vanellope. You know, there's so much stuff that's out there, and everyone goes, it's a hoax. This is this and this. This film covers the aspect of when people go, no, I think that's real. Like, what if that's real? What if she really did save, you know, someone's life? What if she really did that? Instead of it being a what if, it becomes this is. And it sort of plays on the boundaries of how that would really affect people, how they would perceive them, and also affect the superheroes or villains themselves with these abilities. I mean, this ain't Heroes. This isn't like Save the Cheerleader, you know, you save the world. It has a heavier tone to it. The other thing that I can say about the film is the reason why I mentioned if you're expecting Marvel, like, I know you guys did not even see that coming. It was great. But if you're expecting that, the film is slow paced, but it's not slow paced where you're sitting there like, hey, are you texting someone? Because it seems more interesting. That's not what's happening here. When it comes to the slow pace, it's like you're taking a gradual walk. You're just sort of like enjoying the scenery. You're looking around. That's kind of what you're doing in regards to the film. And now you're also intrigued, at least I felt intrigued, on what's going on. I know somebody lying. Like someone there ain't telling the truth. Like I was just on to everyone. But you know, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm suspicious of everyone. That's just natural. But what I definitely want to point out is that if you're expecting, like I said, that fast pace, you're not going to get it here. So you're going to be bored out of your mind. But if you don't mind a slow pace comic book film that's going to take you along the ride and really sit there and make you think maybe there are gods amongst us. So that's one of the things that I can say about the film. So slow pace can be a good thing. Slow pace can also be a bad thing. For me, it just happened to be a good thing because I felt like I was able to follow through. It didn't seem too much like, this is like putting me to sleep. I didn't feel that way. I just felt intrigued by the next minute. Like, well, what's the next move? I felt like I was playing a very intense game of chess with the screen, and I was just like, so who's next? Aha, she's going to move the bishop. So in regards to the doctor, yeah, that chick was creepy. There was something about her that I was like, I don't trust her. I did not trust her whatsoever. I loved what they did with Mr. Glass. That I enjoyed. So there are things that that slow pace kicks in with Mr. Glass, because as you see the condition that he's in at that moment, and then you see his progress, this whole time you're just sitting there like, yo, what is this? Wait, what's going on? I don't understand. Wait, how does this happen? And then you hear them explaining it away, so you're like, wow, okay, wow, so he's like totally messed up now. And then he kind of just gives everyone the finger, like, it's mad cool. You're just like, that's what a mad genius would do. Like, so I thought that was pretty cool. I like how Dunn gets kind of caught into the middle of everything when he's just really trying to be, you know, a vigilante. He's trying to just do his everyday thing. And then the Beast, not the one that Sabrina signed her name in. That'll be an episode in future in April. But I so want to get casted into that show. Come on, admit it, I look witchy. But anyways, so what I can say about when they portrayed the character of the Beast, yo, James, what's wrong with you, man? Like, yo, I won't lie, at some point I was like, I don't think he's acting. Like, I think someone needs to give him his meds. Or did they just take you off the meds for that particular like film? Like, you had me rolling. And here's the thing, James's performance was so like taking over things that you could tell that there were scenes that the other actors couldn't even keep a straight face for the crazy crap that he was doing. And you could tell everyone's stone cold. Like, there's a crying scene, someone's dying, they're like, and you can see the cheeks, how they come up, and you're like, yo, she's laughing, yo, the homegirl's laughing. Like, I think you did such a great job. And by the way, kudos to the people who were doing the credits. I like the fact that they had 50,000 names and then they just put his name on the side. Like, yo, that was the best to me. You did a great job playing Patricia, playing the 9-year-old, playing oh my god, there was so many other characters. There was a Kevin. There was just so much, and I loved. Yo, you had me in tears when you busted out in Spanish talking. Like, that caught me off guard. I was like, okay, again, his performance is great. And then you were like, perdóname, señor. And I was like, what? Oh my god, okay. And for a second, I was like, maybe it's a voiceover, but it wasn't. And I'm pretty sure that was you. That was pretty flippin' awesome. You did such a great job, and his performance is what really, I feel, would really hold you into the film if you're someone who's like uncomfortable with like slow-paced films. His performance alone is enough to make you laugh, cry, and then get scared because you're just like, what? Because, you know, if you live in New York City, you pass by people who act like that all the time in a train. So you're just like, yo, that person might be, you know, sporting the beast. I'm just saying the horn. If I ever have the opportunity to interview James, I got so many questions for him just about that performance strictly alone. Like, there's just so much going through my head. The mannerisms, the body language, like when he embodies being Patricia, he is dead set. You can tell what kind of woman he's supposed to be. And the thing about it, the best part is how they shot the film in combination with the cinematography, with putting everything together, and his performance. You start to learn who the personalities are before he opens his mouth, and that is how you know you have a good actor who did their job right. You recognize Patricia, you knew who Kevin was, because there's a scene there where someone else recognizes, and obviously they're very familiar with this person and recognizing the different personalities, and then when you're a psychologist, you're sort of recognizing it too, but as a viewer, to dead set be sitting there like, oh, he's talking to Patricia. And you can laugh at the moment because you see Patricia's doing this, you can see that so-and-so is doing that, you can see it, and I thought that was so amazing. Once the film ended, I really sat there and I was like, holy crap, I recognized each character based on his body language, you know, the prim and properness of, you know, of Patricia. You could, you know, you understood who this was. You knew when you were dealing with the forever 9-year-old and there was like, you know, being very silly, and then you understood when a new personality was introduced and you're like, yo, who's this? Like, you became emotionally invested on who that next person, like, who's this? Is this Bob? Who's this? Whoa, who's this? So you did a great job. That was phenomenal. Samuel Jackson, Bruce Willis, you guys are awesome. Everyone was doing phenomenal, but I have to admit, James was the one that held the entire film, because that constant bipolar multi-personality disorder crap was all over the place, in combination with like a superpower or being possessed, who knows. It was just off the charts. And then to do the switch into the Beast, you were like, you took it serious. You're like, oh, the Beast is here. Like, you understood them as each, like, as an actual individual. That was the part that I loved the most. Like, you, oh my god, you are my favorite part of the film. I get the chance to interview, I got questions, man. I got so many fun questions. Let's see, what is the next aspect?
So people are saying that you shouldn't watch this movie, but I hear like you really liked it. So what do you think?
I think you should watch it if you are someone who can appreciate a comic book film that's not the Marvel DC world that you're looking for. You know, don't get me wrong, I love my Marvel and DC. I love my Thor, my Wonder Woman. I mean, obviously you guys have seen all my spoofs and stupid videos. But this is a film that makes it more realistic. If you wanted to know what heroes would be like in a realistic manner, don't get me wrong, like, we love Batman. Batman's phenomenal. He's flipping great, but Batman's also human, and Batman's also really old, and he just now recently had a kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, what happened to the timeline? So I would recommend it for someone who can appreciate a thinking comic book kind of film to make comic book heroes as realistic as possible. Or if you're just someone who's curious to the concept of how gods or superhumans can live amongst us, this film would definitely be for you. If you're expecting, you you know, that kind of thing. That's not gonna happen. So you can just skip, and then you'll just see my next review. Because I just saw 2 other films like Batman Ninja, which I have so much to say about. You know, the animation was pretty, but whatever. But I think Glass. It's hard to give things a rating. I don't normally give ratings, but I guess I would give it 4 out of 5 Cadmas. And 4 out of 5 doctors also say I'm clinically insane. That lady would totally lock me up from that film. She'd be like, you. But the truth is, even if she wanted to lock me up for trying to be a superhero, I mean, I am one if you check out Extra Vision. Sorry, I have allergies. It's really weird at this time of season. But yeah, I think it's a fun film. I think you should definitely check it out. It's not, if you haven't seen Unbreakable or Split before, then you may not be prepared for what you're getting into, but do keep in mind, like I said, slow paced, but not so slow where you're like falling asleep. Slow paced enough that you understand that, of course, with anything else that Shyamalan makes, you have to pay attention. So if you're incapable of paying attention and you have like ADD, then don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Just go find something else. That's my review. I think it's fantastic. I think I did really good without doing a spoiler. So the next time I go to one of those dates again, now the people at the theater can no longer look in my direction about giving away spoilers. I swear to God, I really thought that lady looked at me. I really did. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Tell me what you guys are expecting to see in Glass. If you saw Split, what did you think of Split? If you love the trilogy, kind of just starting from Unbreakable. If you're old like me and saw it from like the very first beginning, like when it came out in theaters, you're gonna be like, in my age, hey, we saw it in the theaters. You know, kind of like what people do with Star Wars now. But let me know what you're expecting, what you think. If you're a fan of James, because if you're not a fan of James, you will be after this film. I'm serious. Yo, my dude. Like, he was really on point. Facial expressions, body language. He was really my favorite part. Even delivering comedy where there shouldn't have been comedy, but you couldn't help but to laugh because he was just taking the film. He was like the Sandra Bullock of the film, basically. That's what he was doing. He was just taking names and kicking butt and chewing bubble gum. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that button down there to subscribe. I'm pretty sure if you want to do something like really cool, subscribing would be awesome. I hear it's free. I don't charge. But yeah, welcome to 2019, first one with Cadma. Oh my God, I just realized the last time I wore this outfit was when I was singing on stage. It was so awesome. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment. I'll catch you guys later. Whoop whoop!